We start off flying about in the Nether on a bit of an adventure, because I'm on the lookout for a couple of these. Yes, we are going to start off by doing a bit of bastion raiding, not necessarily for the loot that it contains, although we will help ourselves whenever we do find any, but we are mainly on the lookout for some gilded blackstone. So, let's see how much we can get of it. This really takes me back to the early days of hell. Absolutely fantastic. Alright then, well, we have a few shulkers full of a lot of goodies here for us, so let's pick that up and let's make our way back home. Hello chaps, I have returned. I hope you haven't missed me too much, and I have brought back with me quite a lot of goodies, which we will look into what we will be doing with those in a bit. But for now, how are you guys getting on? What have we been getting up to? Well, the two builders here in the main plaza, Adeline and Benicio, are both currently not doing anything here, so they are available for anything that we wish. As for Julia, up in the educational district, she is upgrading the school to tier 3 for us. Emmeline for the industry district is upgrading a house to tier 5, and Germaine in the agricultural district is upgrading a guards tower to tier 5, which is all absolutely fine, but I have two builders without a job at the moment, so let's get them busy. And I think we will start them off here in our graveyard district and start upgrading some of these graveyards then. These are Asian style graveyards, so aren't really nether based, but after we get them up to tier 5 here, then maybe we can start decorating them to be a bit more nether themed. And that's the 4 of them then been set for upgrade, and I've seen that Benicio has picked up the first order for them, and the items that go towards it are fairly simple actually. Just a few nether brick items and that's about it. Well, I'm feeling a bit productive today, so I will assist them with getting some of these endstone items. They can produce their own endstone materials because they have the research unlocked now to do that, but this is still far simpler for me to get it versus them making it. I think in addition to upgrading our graveyard district, I will maybe start making a push on upgrading some of the builds here within our industry district. Just then, so that the buildings can be a bit more efficient and be able to make these blocks a lot faster for all of our builders. So that doesn't sound a bad idea at all to me. Let's come in and upgrade some builds then. And setting the blacksmith's hut there for upgrade has reminded me that we have some research which we can unlock, which will then unlock the ability for the blacksmiths to then be able to make some plate armor for our guards. But I'm pretty sure that we will need to upgrade the university first to tier 5 in order to get that. So there's another build then for upgrade. I will get Julia coming out here to upgrade this for us, seeing as she is the builder for this district anyway, and is a pretty decent one at that. Speaking of which, there she's just finished off the school upgrade to tier 3. So I will need to get her back out there and upgrading that to tier 4 at some point, but hopefully she will pick up the university next, which she has done and is already 30% supplied for it. But of course there is a bajillion items that are going to be required for this. We will just deal with the requirements for that whenever she requests any items. Speaking of request, hello Emmeline, what are we up to? What do we need? You are wanting a cake, are you? That's probably a lack of wheat actually. We need to also upgrade the builds within the agricultural district, which we will also come on to and upgrade that district at another point. I think we certainly have enough builds around here to be getting on with today. I do always wonder where the iron golems end up. The answer is always getting stuck in the stupidest of places. What an absolute waste. Well, after quickly skimming through all of the resource scrolls for our builders, all of them are getting on absolutely fine. And in fact, I have seen that Benicio is already 80% supplied for the graveyard build. Let's see which one he's going to upgrade first then. It's this one here that he's upgrading, and holy crap, that was quick. Okay, well, this is our first tier 5 graveyard for us then. I think that is literally all that he was putting in. Well, if it's that simple to upgrade these then, Benicio, why don't you get the finger out and upgrade the rest of them? Which he does seem to be doing, to be fair. He has picked up yet another graveyard. Perfect. Adeline has not picked up a graveyard build, but has instead picked up the glassblower's hut and has pretty much everything coming to her for it. I seen that Jermaine has just finished off his guard tower build there, and I'm just waiting to see what he will pick up next. But I have noticed in the open requests that Julia is requesting a shulker box for the university upgrade, and I don't think I have any spare shulkers around. I will quickly check on Heaven. I do actually. I have a few spare here, so that's fine. I can simply make them up some shulker boxes. I seen that Jermaine has not yet picked up a new work order, so what I will do is get him out here to upgrade the sifter then to tier 5. And once the sifter becomes tier 5, we can then unlock the diamond mesh technology and take that off the open request list. The rest of the items here on it are just absolute garbage, so let's take that off. Just some raw pork chops for the restaurant, which the swineherder will need to get for them. I'm not bothering my arse. The tier 5 sifter upgrade is actually very expensive for what it's worth. Block of diamond and emerald towards it. Never mind crying obsidian and cyan acacia shingles. I think we have all the materials for that, but we will assist if we don't, of course. Well, because we now have the graveyard up at its maximum form of tier 5, I think it's time that we come and give it a nether-based makeover, which essentially will just require me replacing a lot of blocks with nether-based blocks. And we will replace some of the oak wooden parts with warped or crimson wooden parts, and maybe some of the stone slabs here with some polished black stone. The little middle bit here is actually made of stone stairs, which we will replace then with again some polished black stone. The cobblestone boundary just around we will remove and just then replace with actual black stone. Now, as for these type of lanterns that we have, I will just remove the base andesite at the moment, and then the trapdoors here as well. And we'll basically then just replace that all with some black stone. And for the trapdoors, we will go for these warped ones. Although I will remove the lantern in the middle and replace it with a soul lantern instead. I think that just fits a bit better. Now, for the mossy slate shingle slab on top, we will just quickly take that off, and in its place, we will replace it with gilded blackstone shingle slabs, which, you guessed it, takes our gilded blackstone that we collected. So let's get that nice on top there. Looking good so far. I think we will leave the graves as is, just because I don't really want to touch them in case it breaks anything. But as for the roof here, let's make a few gilded blackstone warped shingles, and then we will slowly start to replace all of those shingles with the blackstone ones. And there we go, a nether themed graveyard. And I think it doesn't look too bad actually. The warped wood certainly stands out. as well as that gilded black roof actually. That's really quite nice. We will deal with the floating Kongming decorations at another point, but basically they will just be replaced with warped trapdoors as well. But I'm quite happy with that actually. And Benicio was kind enough to finish off another graveyard to tier 5, so we have a direct comparison then to what it used to look like to what it now looks like. And I am pretty happy with it. I think we will maybe come out and upgrade some of these then to crimson wood instead, so we have the parallel between red and green with them. Not too bad though, a job for me for later. Another 2 works here for Benicio though. Anyway, that's enough faffing about with decorations for me at the moment. I have some builders who will be requesting some items that I need to get them. In particular, a lot of terracotta items here for Emmeline, who is currently upgrading the stone smeltery for us. And they are recipes that we can teach to the stone smeltery itself actually, so that's nice and handy. And thank you very much for finishing off the glassblower's hut there, Adeline. Go pick up another job now. Those terracotta recipes are actually taught to the dyer's hut, not the stone smeltery's hut. So we will come here and teach this hut those recipes. And whilst we're doing this, that's Benicio finished yet another graveyard. All of these builders are definitely on a roll here today, which is absolutely fantastic. Well, that's all recipes taught. But there is an issue here. We need a lot of cobblestone in order for the crusher to turn it into gravel, sand, then into clay. So we will get some cobblestone from heaven. I've seen that Julia is requesting in a book and quill alongside light grey carpets, which I think are both Fletcher based items. Well, the carpet was, but the book and quill is not. That is a plantation recipe that we need to teach. Right, over to the agricultural district then. That's the book and quill recipe now being taught to the plantation, and I don't think there's anything else here on the open request list, apart from things for Germain of course, which is just simply a Fletcher recipe and a mechanics build recipe. Well, if Julia gets in the book and quill alongside a lime glazed terracotta block, then she has everything she requires for the university upgrade, which has been very, very fast for our colony to get all of those items for her. Holy crap, well done hell. Adeline has finished whatever build she was doing and has moved on to upgrade our concrete mixer's hut to tier 5, I believe. Just a lot of concrete, as you would expect. I've seen that Benicio finished yet another graveyard down there, which I think that is 4 for 4. So, maybe just take the rest of the day off then, Benicio. You have worked hell of a hard here today. Julia is working on the university and it's nearly up at tier 5. You can just see we are working on the roof at the moment. I think we are about 85% done with this, so we will head in and check on that in a second. Emmeline is upgrading the stone smeltery and just awaiting in a few terracotta items here, which will be dependent on heaven sending over some cobblestone, which I get the feeling that those courier messages up about it are because we are starting to get some cobblestone in. Perfect. And finally, Germain is working on the sifter, is 50% done with it, just awaiting in the black carpet and block of diamond, then we'll be done with that. That is tremendous work all around here today, chaps. We have got a lot of new builds up to tier 5. Let's get the university up to tier 5 next, then we can unlock that research for the blacksmith. Then our guards can get a bit of an upgrade themselves. And that's Julia just finished the upgrade to the university there. Perfect. So we now should be able to come into it, and this research is within the combat tree. This is it here. Plate armor for the blacksmith to learn plate armor recipes. And it's fairly simple, so let's go ahead with it. And once that unlocks, then our blacksmith will be able to make some pretty handy armor for all of our guards. And that's just some more protection all around here. We have certainly made a lot of progress here today. A lot of new builds up to tier 5 and at least in the process of being upgraded to tier 5. So I'm very happy overall with all of the progress that Hell has made here today. Still a lot more to go though, and a lot more builds that will need upgraded eventually, but we're getting there with it. And what a tremendous message to end with.